I do need to get round to adjusting this clock. It's just not so easy. What can I use? Oh wow, GSF. There you go, lunchtime. Oh, why is the light flashing? The coolant light flashing. Hold on, I don't even have a sensor on the bottle. Is there any wiring for it? Nope, doesn't look like there is. So why is the light on? Well, maybe I should get a sensor. Oh damn. Left the lights on. Hey John. Oh. How you doing, mate? Alright guys, so welcome to RestoDesigns. As you saw at the intro of the video, living with a Mark II Golf, a 30-year-old car, on a day-to-day basis can be a little bit challenging at times. So today's video, I'm going to be tackling some of these issues. And here on the bench, I've got a selection of things, basically just an earth wire. And you're wondering, what's this for? This wire that goes from the fuse box to the back of the cylinder head on the engine. Has got 31 years of heat, oil running through it, and resistance in it. So we're going to replace that wire. And then next thing on the list is actually, while I'm actually trying to deal with that flashing light, I actually don't actually have a sensor on that bottle. So it'd be nice to actually have one, because obviously when I put the ABF in it, for safety reasons, you want to know if you're running low on coolant for whatever reason. It's always a good thing to have. So I'm going to add that on as well. So at least the car's a little bit safer. I know when I'm running down or low on coolant. Next is relay number 99, which is, as you saw, for the wipers. Next is going to be relay 292. This is going to be basically a buzzer for the lights. So when we leave the lights on, it'll kind of, when you open the door, the buzzer will go off and you realize you've left your lights on. That's another great helpful tip. Next, I found this actually in my stock, which is an interior light, but it looks like it's got like a circuit board on it. I didn't throw it away because I thought it was quite strange. Maybe it comes off a later car, but I'm assuming this has a delay. So basically you close the doors, or you leave the light, you close the doors and it'll stay on for a little bit before it actually kind of dims slightly. So yep, that's obviously just a straightforward fit on. Now here, this is going to be a hack. I'm going to show you guys and go into more detail at the end of the video, showing you guys where I got this from. But this is a wiring loom that I paid €5 for. And I'm going to kind of go into more detail, like I said, at the end of the video, showing you guys where I got this from, what model it's from, what years that you can get this wiring loom from. And it is actually better than the original Mark II loom, because it seems to run, they seem to close and open a lot quicker, which is quite nice. And these looms go all the way up to 99. But like I said, I'll go into more detail at the end of the video, so stay tuned to the end so you guys can see where I got this loom from. Here, obviously the main part, we've got the central console, which is going to be, I've got this again from my good friend Joel Piers. He supplied me this with all the switches and everything, as well as I got the grommets for the doors, which are also again to cover where the winders would have gone. I got a pair of Orthodoc's finest window regulators for the Mark II Golf, and generally just to tidy up the car. I've also got the outside window scrapers for the front of the car with the holders, because mine's are really bad condition. They shrink over time. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly fit these on and trim them down while I got the windows out. It makes sense. Running the wires through the main loom here could be quite difficult, unless you're actually removing the whole loom, doing the engine conversion, which I'm going to be doing at a later stage. For the time being, I'm going to be running the 3 wires that I need to through one of these 3 grommets. Push it up. So this is the plug. Right, so put the earth in, plug it back in. So I tidied up the loom, pushed the grommet through. Now just put the bottle on and then do the earth to the block. It's always nice fitting a fresh bottle. So that's the engine bay side done. So we've done the earth, expansion bottle done, and the sensor done. Let's move on inside. All right, so next is going to be relay 292. It's a buzzer relay. Comes from a Seat, I think, or maybe even some Mark IIIs actually come with it in Polos. It's basically so that when you leave the lights on, it's got a two-tone buzzer, which is quite soft, and definitely reminds you that you need to turn the lights off before you leave the car. All right, let's go fit this on. So now what I'm going to do is going to test it. Turn the lights on, take the key out, turn the lights off, turn the lights back on. Because I have the convenience wire, which is the brown and red wire, when I put the key in, it's pretty cool. All right guys, so I'm going to break down to you what this loom is actually from now. This is from a Polo 6N, also from the Seat Ibiza 6K. Those are the chassis number reference platforms. They go from around 93 to about 99. Now, there is a difference in the looms. There's 3 looms in total from what I can tell. You've got, if you get the Polo from a Polo 6N, obviously maybe because it's a higher quality build, it has these bulkhead fittings on the A-pillar, whereas on the Seat Ibiza, it doesn't have those, so that saves you cutting and soldering the wire on both ends. And like I said, and then the only other difference in the wiring loom is that this is a basic one with 2 pins. There is a 5-pin setup. You can also utilize that loom. Basically, all it is I think that's for the anti-pinch. So basically, when it feels resistance in the motor, it will actually stop and go back down a little bit. You can remove those wires or even just leave them there and just disconnect the 2 main ones and then trial and error work out which is up, which is down, and it's plug and play literally. These are, as you can see, the standard size like for the Mark II Golf, and this is the bit that goes on top of the fuse box with relay number 53. And like I said, for some reason, this loom seems to work a lot better than the original Mark II loom. It seems to have maybe more current going to it, maybe because it's newer, maybe because the relay is set up here with the fuse is slightly different. It does seem to actually go up and down a lot quicker. So yeah, that's the trick. This is the hack. There's loads of these Polos in the scrapyard. A lot of those Polos and Seats came with electric windows, you know, and also a lot of these Seats came 4-door with electric windows on the rear as well. So you can actually use those if you've got a 4-door Mark II to have electric windows on the rear. So, you know, like I said, these in the scrapyards, they're plentiful. You know, you can, I paid €5 for this particular loom. All I had to do was solder the wiring because of this bulkhead fitting. And it's literally just plug and play. It clips in, power, earth, illumination night. And then this is going to be, I'm going to use this on the key for the convenience, so that even when the key's in, the windows work. And that's it. That's literally, that's all it needs. Let's go and wire this in. Okay guys, so I've clipped in the electric window relay, the buzzer, and the accessories for my key in, and also the illumination wire. So all the trims are done. So as you can see, we have the key in ignition now. key ignition, the ignition off, and the windows. Work amazingly well. And that's it. And with the ignition on, obviously they all work. Job done. Oh, that comes in handy. It stays on. Okay, so it's raining. I've had to obviously simulate the rain. You got the wipers, they're on. The intermediate, it's slow, it's not quick enough. And you put it on that speed and it's just too quick because it's not raining that much. And you want kind of like an intermediate speed, what do? So this is where relay 99 comes in. Remove the cover. Okay, so the location you need there is relay 19. Whichever relay might be in there, that's the one you need to remove, that location there. And it's simple as that. Let's put the cover back on. So now with relay 99 in, as you can see, I've got this speed here for the intermediate. Now if I switch it off, go to position 1, then go back down to position intermediate, and then you can see how I've got an intermediate speed. So it's a bit quicker than before. And then if I switch it off, go back down. All right guys, so we're over here at the bench now. As you saw, did all those little bits and pieces, and it does make the car a lot nicer to live with on a day-to-day basis. Even if you don't use it as a daily, it's nice little hacks there. All right, so let's start here. I've got this spare fuse box with these wires coming out. Some of the colors might not be the same, but the locations will definitely be the same. So where are we going to start? We're going to start first with that bottle, the coolant bottle level sensor, which is this yellow plug here. The original wire had like a jumper that went from that pin to that pin there. And what you do, if you do want to add a sensor onto your Mark II, if it's a basic model, you just basically just remove that one and you put the wire from one side of the bottle goes to there, the other one goes to earth anywhere. And that means the bottle will work. Once the level is low, you'll have a warning that your coolant level is low. That's basically all that needs to be done. This wire, obviously you can, cut it and tape it up so it's not loose hanging around. The next thing we did was the earth for the clocks that goes onto the back of the block. Now, this wire, there's normally 3 white plugs here. So it's the middle one you need. And it's this pin here, which is like number 6 on this side. And it's in this loom here, it's brown and white. Normally they're just all brown. This wire will be 30 years old, bolted onto your engine, going through heat cycles, oil running down it because it sits on the rocker cover, and it's just going to build up load of resistance. So if you've got issues with the coolant temperature isn't reading right, it's overreading, oil flashing lights, the ref counter not working, coolant level not working, generally it can be not all your issues, but the majority of issues can be done down to this actual wire here. So, you just depin it, run a new wire, and it should hopefully sort out all your issues. All right, so now moving over to relay 292, which was the buzzer for the lights. Now, the first wire you need to do is on this black plug here is this gray and black wire. That pin there is the one that you need that goes to the rear light. So that's going to be going to one of the relay positions. The next one you need is a key 12. You can use any yellow and black wire. Generally check with a test light that it is when you turn the ignition on, that comes on. In my case, I used a brown and red wire that comes from the ignition switch on the column, which is a key in 12, which is really quite convenient. So basically it only comes on, it goes off when you take the key out. When you put the key in, it gives you 12 volts. So, that's a convenience wire, which is quite cool because I've also wired up the electric windows to that wire. So as soon as I put the key in, even though I'm sitting in the car, I don't have to have the ignition on, to have the radio on, to have the windows working. It's convenient. That's why it's called the convenience wire. All right. And then the other wire goes to this brown and white wire. And that's basically it. Now, I'm going to show you here on the video quickly on how I wired up the electric windows, which is quite simple really, which is basically 12, earth, again, ignition 12, which I put down to the convenience key wire, and then you've got the illumination wire, which is for obviously when you turn the lights on, which is this gray and blue wire, which you can use one of these basically that come off this plug here, I think it is, on this blue fin plug. You can use one of these, and this is the wire that you use to power the lights on the switches. So those are nice little upgrades that I've done. You know, if you have any questions on the wiring diagrams or pin numbers, whatever it is, please leave comments and I will reply to all the comments as much as I can and give as much info as I can. Like, it really helps me out. Subscribe, that really helps me out. And guys, thanks for watching. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, click on that notification bell to beat the YouTube algorithm, and be safe, guys. Cheers.